Well, welcome everyone to this presentation that Rose-Anne and I'm Carolyn that we're doing this morning, Melbourne time for you and American US time at night. We're really excited to have you with us as we teach you the 6 steps to self-care and productivity for busy professionals. You are here because you are a busy professional. You are someone who potentially may be struggling to get your work-life balance back in balance. And we are excited to have you because we know that you are considering how you can improve your self-care and your strategies in your day-to-day life, and you are actually willing to make the necessary changes, and invest in yourself. So we're delighted to have you watching with us or watching the replay for those that couldn't watch it live. For those of you wondering, I'm Carolyn. I am based in Melbourne in Australia. This is my family, my husband and my 4 beautiful children. For the past 5 years, I have been in the health and the wellness industry, coaching many individuals with VIP private coaching and families, and really helping them with holistic healthcare. In the last 18 months, I have moved my business to really working with busy professionals, so corporate workers who have had a lot of career success, but often at the detriment of their personal life. And this is where I decided to change my business into really working with these corporate professionals to help them to sleep more, to keep them accountable on exercise, to make sure that they are incorporating beautiful whole foods into their diet and really nurturing those relationships with their family and their loved ones. I have my background in psychology and teaching, and just my experience being married to a corporate professional myself and helping him with the current burnout or the areas of burnout that he has had over his career. Here are some testimonials from some of my coaching clients in the past. Glenn, who said that I was able to really help him to set and achieve his health goals, specifically around sleep, which was fabulous because he'd been too busy and burnt out and not sleeping for many years. I had Sonia, who says to me that all my symptoms disappeared and I never had reflux again after Carolyn shared a specific solution with her, which was terrific. I was able to help Erin, who was ready to give up alcohol, but just wanted that accountability of a coach and somebody just to encourage her and prompt her, and actually was able to give up alcohol in her diet quite seamlessly in the end, which was terrific. For then Nicole, who wanted to move to a whole food diet in 30 days and have somebody keeping her accountable, that was really helpful for her. And Matt, who said to me, the best thing that you did for me was to really help me improve my relationship with my partner and my kids. And so that was a fabulous testimonial to hear from him. Let me hand over to Rose-Anne.
Carolyn, thank you so much for kicking us off. Hello and good evening to everyone, and good morning to those in Australia and other parts of the world. I am Rose-Anne Uwague, and I am a wife. I've been married for 7 years. I'm a mother of 2. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I'm a life strategist and coach for the very fact that in 1 year, I became a wife, mom, and so much happened to me in such a short space. So I literally went from dating my husband to getting engaged to getting married in 1 year. And then 11 months later, we had our first child. So I was faced with my own issues of trying to balance productivity, trying to engage in self-care. I was like, wait, is motherhood the graveyard? Is this the end of life as I knew it? So I became a productivity coach, a life strategist, and a business coach to help women to achieve harmony. That is my mission. I know I'm not the only one who has either struggled with burnout or struggled with a lack of productivity or trying to balance self-care with all the other things that are going on. So now I'm just on a mission to help women to achieve that work-life harmony, that work-life balance, if you will. I have my master's in corporate communication. I do have my certificate in human resources and project management. But I think a lot of my experience comes from not so much education, but also my personal experience, which I just shared. I've worked in consulting, finance, human resources, education. So now when I talk to my clients who are doctors or my clients who are accountants or podcast hosts, I can bring all that past experience to help them based on my own experiences too. So I want to share a few testimonials with you. I have one client, Brandis, and I know a lot of you can probably relate to Brandis. She says, I have an insanely busy life, excuse me. So, you know, you're the mother or you're a dad, you're parenting, you have a full-time job, you're probably doing remote schooling or virtual learning, you're probably doing hybrid, whatever it is, but the list goes on and on and on. So she said, Rose-Anne has shown me how to transform my life by approaching time as my friend, right? So a lot of people think time is my enemy, the alarm clock is my enemy, that tick tock is my enemy, but time is actually your friend. So Carolyn and I want to show you how to balance self-care and productivity so you too can view time as your friend. We have Fallon, who she literally said, I was such a mess. She said she lacked strategy and organization, but after working with her, I was able to help her bring in $40,000 in income just by helping her get her thoughts together, her business plan together, her practices in place and keeping her accountable. And then she was able to pay off $20,000 in debt and then start living the life that she wanted, the one that we designed for her. And then we have Kristen, who just simply said, before productivity coaching, I was undisciplined, unorganized, and I lacked strategy. Now that I have Rose-Anne, my life has changed and I'm whole. And that's our goal for you today, that we can help to get you to wholeness and become more organized and actually balance productivity and self-care. So the intention is just to teach you life hacks on how to boost your self-care and productivity. You know, I actually define productivity and self-care the same way. It's doing what you need to do when you need to do it. So for some of you, maybe what you need to do is call a friend and have a super slow conversation. For some of you, maybe you need to get some sleep. Whatever that is, we want to show you the simplest way that you can improve your health, your work, and just balance it all out over the course of 3 months, but we'll share a special offer with you later so that you can understand how we can be of assistance to you.
Exactly. Thanks, Rose-Anne. I'm going to take over here. And I would really love you to close your eyes just for a few moments, because I want you to fast forward the next 3 months. So close your eyes, please. And I want you to imagine 3 months from now. I want you to try and picture yourself full of energy because you are sleeping 7 hours every single night. You are feeling fit. You are looking better than you have in recent years. When you look around you, you see your family, you see your friends, and everyone is happy. Those relationships are strong. And when you look at yourself, you can see that you have the knowledge and you have easy solutions right at your fingertips. You are determined to keep this work-life balance happening into the future. Well, friends, I want to assure you, you are in the right place tonight or this morning, wherever you're watching from. Rose-Anne and I are experts in the area of self-care and productivity, and we are going to share with you our secrets in the presentation. Many people have no idea where to start, and that is so overwhelming to them. We want to share with you our ideas of self-care. And for some people, it means that you are giving the world the best of you instead of what is left. Often when we are burnt out in our career, we can be snappy with our children. We can cut corners and eat takeout instead of making a simple, wholesome meal. We can skip going to the gym because we're just too tired. We can stay home and just stay sitting, watching Netflix over and over and over. Okay. That's happened to everybody. Rose-Anne and I are not perfect in any way, shape, or form. This happens to everybody. But what we have realized over the past few years from working in this area is that self-care can be 2 moments. It can be 5 minutes. It can be half an hour. There are many things that we can teach you to do that are incredibly, incredible at changing the way you view yourself and how you actually feel. Now, it could be having a bath in the end of the night. It could just be sitting quietly with a cup of tea in the morning. on your own before the rest of the household is woken up. It could just be like this photo. I loved finding this photo, just walking out on the grass, grounding yourself to the earth, with a pet around you, or just listening just for a few moments. First thing in the morning, I love to do this, where the birds are waking up and they are chirping. I personally love to read. If you follow me on Instagram or on LinkedIn, you'll see that I often share book reviews. For me, self-care, and I'm a busy mum with 4 kids, people often say to me, how on earth do you read so much? It's a priority to me. Part of my self-care is getting into bed at night, and I'm very strict. At 10:30 every night I'm in bed, but I will always read one chapter of a book. Now that could be a self-care book, it could be it could be non-fictional, or it could be a fictional book, but I will always read a chapter. If it's a really good book, you may still find me reading a few chapters, half an hour later, but that is my form of self-care that happens every single day. I love to use essential oils as well in my daily routine. And if I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed, one thing I'll do is put a drop of something in the palm of my hands. I will rub my hands together, and just for 10 seconds, I will take some deep breaths in and out. And that is another example of self-care that can just happen in 10 seconds. It does not have to be overwhelming. We are going to share with you 6 steps to self-care and productivity today, but we are going to focus in detail for 3 of those, and the other 3 that you can see on the outer side of this diagram are going to be covered in our coaching course in more detail. So Rose-Anne, I think you're going to take us through the first 3 steps. Yeah. You're on mute, Rose-Anne.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Carolyn, thank you so much for sharing those tips. I think a lot of times we struggle because we think it's such a big goal. But when you say something like essential oils or drinking more water, lighting a candle, reading a book, then it puts it into a more practical standpoint. So what we want to cover is your lifestyle. What are the things that you're doing? Let's talk about your nutrition, your relationships, your sleeping habits. We want to create goals. We'll talk to you about the importance of setting goals, and then we'll help to uncover those limiting beliefs. Sometimes we tell ourselves a story. There's a narrative that we created, the story that we told ourselves, but we help to first identify those and then replace ones that are no longer serving you, right? And then of course, after you do all that work, you have to implement it, and will be the accountability you need, will be the support, and then teach you strategies for maintaining that ongoing. So if you've been struggling with not getting enough sleep, if you've been struggling with burnout, if you've been struggling with not feeling productive, if you've been struggling with making your self-care a priority, maybe the reason is because you lack the strategy or the clarity to reach those goals. So that's what we want to take you through. We invite you to exchange struggling for strategy, to exchange grinding for grace, and to exchange hustling for harmony. This is our goal and our intention for you tonight. All right, so step 1, what we talked about was, what are the areas of your life that require self-care? So basically we're asking you to do an audit, right? When you think of your relationships, do you have toxic relationships? When you're thinking of sleep, when was the last time you got 8 hours of sleep? Does that sound like a joke? Is it a distant wish? How are you sleeping? Are you getting up in the middle of the night for one reason or the other, whether it's anxiety or worry, or maybe you just drank too much water before going to bed, right? So nutrition, this is very important. The foods that we eat sometimes dictate the way that we feel. I remember for probably a month, I didn't eat any carbs. And then I had a good donut. When I tell you I wanted to sleep immediately, it took me down. I felt so sluggish, but there's a definite impact between the food we eat and the way we feel. How are you feeling about work? Are you burnt out? Are you exercising? Are you relaxing, like Carolyn said, with reading a book? Essential oils, right? So those are things that we want to make sure that you're taking an audit of. Think of those things and find out what area of your life actually requires the self-care.
Right.
And then we go into,
sorry, Rose-Anne. I was going to say, perhaps people might like to share with us in the chat if there's a specific area that they would love our help to work on. It's interesting to always see if it's sleep for some people. Perhaps it's every area of these that we've mentioned. If you feel like sharing, pop that into the chat.
Yeah, please go ahead, drop that in the chat. Let us know if it's relationships, sleep, and nutrition. Is it one? Is it all of the above, like Carolyn said? Go ahead and share that with us so If we need to, spend a little bit more time on one or the other, we'll be happy to do so. And at the end, we're going to make sure that there's time for Q&A. So get your questions ready, start popping those in the chat. So that's pretty much what happens in step one, right?
Mhm.
After going through step one, Belinda said, my son is now sleeping through the night, after Carolyn encouraged her to use a diffuser. When you think of it, speaking to an expert and getting a small step that you can implement right away is so critical and so profound. She went from sleepless nights because her child couldn't sleep to now her son is sleeping through the night, and that means she's sleeping through the night too, right? So
Right.
that respiratory blend helped to open up his airways. This is something that after talking to us, we can say, well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Also, when we talk about goal setting, it's very important. So the reason we did step one is in order to know what the plan is, we need to know where you are, right? So if you're thinking about a GPS or getting directions, you're going from point A to point B. So we definitely want to know where you are. So Sarah shared that she is interested in getting more sleep, focusing more on nutrition and exercise, and currently experiencing burnout at work. I can definitely understand where you're coming from. Even if this is not solely related to the pandemic, burnout has been such a thing that people have been going through in these years. So we definitely want to give you more tips and just let you know that it is possible to imagine that life that we talked about earlier. Burnout is not something that we should normalize. And, as Carolyn said, you are certainly not alone. I'm sure a lot of people started nodding their heads when they saw that in the chat. So we did that audit in step one to find out where are you right now, and then we can set goals to go to where you want to be, right? The goal is just to grow. So we talk about your personal goals and your dreams. What do you want to focus on? Sarah said she wants to focus on nutrition, getting more sleep, right? So I love this quote that says, it's what we think about that ultimately manifests as results. So powerful.
Sure is.
And then here's another testimonial from Michelle. I finally set and achieved my health goals around exercise and releasing weight. The important thing was setting that goal, right? So you get that accountability, but first you have to set the goal. So then we move to step three, analyzing your limiting beliefs and your behaviors. So there's one thing to know something, but there's a completely different thing to do something. So we help you to close that gap, right? I know I should get more sleep. I know I should eat better. I know I should exercise. Okay, what are the steps we're going to take from just that knowing to actually setting those goals and doing, right? It's important to learn how to change these habits, because we don't want to just snatch all the things that you're doing and then say, okay, now do better. We have to walk you through a process, right? Turn those negatives into a positive. And one of the things I love that we talk about is the 21-90 rule. So it takes 21 days to form a habit. And as you consistently do that over 3 months, this rule has been proven in so many different areas. We've seen it in our own personal lives and with our clients.
Mhm. Terrific.
And we just want to share another testimonial from Paul. He implemented a morning routine incorporating exercise, meditation, and journaling with ease. That with ease part is very critical, because I'm sure he's tried before, but after going through all these steps, then he was able to do it more successfully, more seamlessly.
And that's right. And I would like just to add that all of you guys that are watching on live, I am sharing with you. I'm going to email you later a morning routine that you can follow. And that's completely just as a gift from us to say thank you for watching and watching on live with us. Thank you for Rose-Anne for sharing those first 3 steps with us. There are also another 3 steps, and this is what we're going to focus on in our coaching program. This is the implementation of these new habits, having our support to maintain these results. The thing is that you know that you often need to make the changes, but you can't do it alone. To get new results, you have to do something different, but you often are overwhelmed and don't know what that difference needs to be. We are here to offer you one-on-one coaching and support. Now is really the time for progress and to make those lifelong changes that you have been dreaming about. Please let us help you to achieve the results that you know you deserve. Ooh. Here are a few testimonials from people of mine who have said to me, I've had a few coaches in the past, but I couldn't get the results that I desired on my own. But it was with a coach like Carolyn and with her support that I've been able to make those lifelong changes. And Sarah has said to me, I found coaches and mentors like Carolyn just so valuable over my career, particularly at keeping me accountable. Let me recap the 6 steps that we've spoken about tonight. That first step of being aware of your lifestyle, being aware of the current things you are doing and not doing. And then being able to create some goals, writing some goals, non-negotiable sleep habits, for example, going to bed at 10:30 every single night, regardless of how much there still is to do. Other goals at releasing weight, other goals at eating a whole food diet, goals of connecting with your partner, connecting and having like a one-on-one date with your children once a week, things like that. We are here to help you create those goals, to help you then work through those limiting beliefs. What is stopping you from making changes? How can we help you get rid of those limiting beliefs and actually move those negative thoughts and actions into a positive frame of mind? We are here to support you to implement changes, to help you with accountability all the way, and then to maintain those new habits. Rose-Anne, would you like to take us through the what's in it for me?
Yes, WIIFM, what's in it for me, right? So we're talking about a 6-week program. The format that we'll use is Zoom. So we'll hop on a call every single week for 6 weeks, and we'll literally go through step by step what we just covered in a really quick time. So week 1, we'll talk about awareness. Where are you? What is your mindset like? What are you thinking about? Then we'll jump into week 2, where we're where we are creating those healthy habits and setting goals. Week 3, we spend an entire week talking about the importance of sleep, because it's critical. Your performance and your mood and your productivity is going to be based on how much sleep you're getting. Then for week 4, we talk about managing stress. So when Sarah talked about burnout, these are things that we're happy to talk about, tips to help you to prevent burnout, right? It's not something, again, that we want to normalize. It is something that's very common, but we don't want to normalize it where we just say, yeah, I'm burnt out, this is the norm. No, we want to resist burnout, and we'll help you with proper practices that can help with that. Then in week 5, we talk about nutrition and exercise and the importance of combining those two to get the results and sustain and maintain the results you want. Week 6, we focus more on the maintenance of those results. So the main goal is to make sure that you're clear on your goals, put in these routines into place, and then helping you to change anything that doesn't fit. You'll have direct access to us on Voxer. So whenever you're going through something and you think, wait, I need support, where's Carolyn, where's Rose-Anne? You can quickly hop on to Voxer and let us know that you need help with something. We'll help you to begin a better self-care routine. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is not just an indulgence, it is mission critical. And then we'll, of course, help you to create these healthy changes, these things that you know that you're supposed to be doing, but you keep saying, okay, after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, after Easter, and then the next thing you know, it's a year later. Those changes are the ones we want to help you to implement. And our goal is to make this year the best year yet. So 2021 is going to be better than 2020, and then 2022 is going to be better than 2021, because we want you to have that health and happiness that we truly believe that you deserve.